Going scrapping is one of my favorite hobbies to do, and this time I hit the absolute mother load at this house and the house directly next to it. They threw out so many different items, including tech stuff, fashion stuff, household decor, and just ordinary metal scrap. I was a little bit surprised at how many different things they threw out because it was just so much. If you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and also let me know in the comments down below if you like to go scrapping. Like I was saying, this house and the house next to it had so many different things that they threw out this time. I was a little bit surprised. Honestly, I was raised in a household where we do not throw out anything. Literally, if it's not broken, then you keep using it until it breaks, and when it breaks, you try to fix it. Even if you've outgrown something, then normally what we do is we donate it, or there's always a sibling, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor, somebody who can use it. So I was never really raised in a culture that believes in throwing stuff out. Whenever I go scrapping with my mom, we're constantly surprised at how many different things people are actually throwing out. Although one man's trash is another man's treasure, am I right? And this time that was definitely the case. These houses had so many different things, and they also threw out so many like high-end fashion items too, which I thought was really surprising. I found a Michael Kors bag, brand new, with the tag still on it. They bought it from like Dillard's, I'm assuming, because that's what the tag looked like. It had the little Dillard's like clearance item thing, but it was still $70. So I'm like, I have never in my life thrown out something that was worth $70 brand new or even used, to be honest. I also threw out a bunch of different other items. This is the Michael Kors bag that I was talking about, by the way. It's brand new, literally has never been used, and that is just so surprising to me. They threw out those camping chairs. Camping chairs are really nice because they can be thrown out completely, and they're worth like 5 cents a pound, maybe less depending on where the scrapping economy is like. They also had so many different kinds of cords available this time. I think it's because it was a mixture of like electronic items, a mixture of like techie items, all sorts of items that were being thrown out that had electrical cords and stuff. And here you can see the $70 price tag that I was telling you about with that bag, which is absolutely ludicrous to me. I mean, honestly, maybe it's just because I was raised in a very frugal household, but I could never envision myself throwing out a $70 bag, let alone something that I haven't actually used. Because if you look at it, it literally had the tag on it, which meant that, like, obviously it wasn't ever used. They threw out a couple of other purses and I grabbed them. The most expensive purse was that Michael Kors bag, but they had a couple other really cute items too. I'd noticed that they had a few clothes, but all of it was a little bit too small for me. What I'm thinking it happened is that somebody's teenager probably went to like college or something and they just threw out all of their old stuff before they left. To me, that also feels like that's kind of weird. I don't know. When I left to go like to my permanent job and to like go to college and stuff, my parents mostly kept my room as is, to be honest, but they did donate whatever I didn't want anymore. We found a couple more camping chairs at this other house. Like I said, camping chairs are really great because you can always get so many different kinds of them, and they're so easy to like stack up. They can like be thrown out and there's no problems. They also had this printer that they were throwing out. I can understand why they were throwing out a printer. Printers are honestly a nightmare to deal with. I have my own printer now, and it is just a constant battle of trying to get ink for it, trying to get paper for it, trying to like figure out what is going on with the toner. It's just honestly a nightmare, and I do not like having a printer of my own. I prefer just going to like the library or paying like 10 cents a page at like a FedEx or something. So we did cut the cord on that printer as well. Cutting cords is something that you will see me and my mom doing very frequently because it is just a really easy way to get the most expensive part of scrap out of an object without having to like lug around the rest of the object. Luckily, this one was a printer that had a cord that was detachable, so we were able to just like pull it out, which you could see there. And then we looked through the rest of this stuff. You know, it's a lot of different kinds of like household stuff, which is why I'm thinking like maybe somebody moved moved out, went to college. Maybe they just like decided to get their own apartment. I don't know what it is, but we found a bunch of these different kinds of hangers, and hangers in general are really, really good to also scrap because you can actually sell them at like yard sales and stuff, and they typically go like 10 cents a hanger, or you can price them at like a bunch of different hangers for $1, and they sell so quickly because a lot of people are always looking for different kinds of hangers. They also had this tree. We didn't take the whole tree because our scrapyard no longer takes plastic trees, although these aren't really plastic trees. It's entirely made up of metal. It just has some plastic leaves on it, but they just didn't want them anymore, so we just don't take them anymore. We take as much of the wire as we can, but unfortunately, due to just like logistical issues, we can't take the whole thing anymore. But if scrapyards in your area do take the whole tree, I would highly recommend it because that is a really good way of getting a bunch of like kind of cheap, but whatever, every pound counts, am I right? Metal. And then I found this really cool like flower thing too. It was like a flower decor thing, and it was made up of metal of some kind. It looks like brass, but obviously it's not actually going to be brass. It felt like a cheaper metal, probably just something scrapyard like would pay 5 cents for, but honestly I'm gonna keep it and I'm going to hang it up in my room in my parents' house because I thought it was really, really cute. The thing about scrap though, whenever you're taking household items, is that you have to make sure to desanitize it. So what I like to do is I take a little bit of like rubbing alcohol and then I spray it on there, and then I leave it out in the sun. The sun is such a good way to disinfect everything because it kills all the bacteria and makes sure that everything is sanitized. I have always used the sun to help me desanitize after cleaning with soap, water, and then rubbing an alcohol solution on it. And then I kept looking. Honestly, there wasn't too many other items that I really wanted. A whole bunch of clothing, a whole bunch of art and stuff. Nothing that really caught my eye personally, and like I said, most of the clothing did not fit me. And honestly, I don't really like to use like used clothing out of the garbage. I don't know, it's like a mental handicap for me. But I do like Goodwill thrifting, so I guess I'm a bit of a hypocrite there. That is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more content, and let me know if you've ever gone scrapping and what the best thing you've ever found is. Bye!